want to have this discussion with you because it is important as this war is ongoing. Something else is going on as the war is going on. And there are people who believe that somehow this war is an excuse also for them to cover up some of these things that they knew was going to be exposed at this time. Okay? We'll be talking about cannibalism here, and it seems like one or two of you pick a lot interest in the discussion, and I saw something interesting here, and I said, okay, why not I bring it to you, my majesty, so that we look into it more, and you leave your opinion there at the section. Cannibalism in America is not a story. Okay, so even when this whole issue of Epstein getting involved with eating humans came up, it wasn't a news to a lot of you, especially those of you who have lived in America all your life, right? It wasn't a news to you because I think it's only in the state of Idaho, according to the information, that it's a crime. If not, it's not a crime. As far as you are not the one that unalive the person, it's not a crime. But we know that this whole Epstein exposure, I want to believe that they do all of these things for sacrifices to their God, that the God that they worship, of course, right? Now, the thing here is that a lot was exposed recently while this war was going on, and it has to do with the president of America, Donald Trump himself. I believe most of you have had that, so I'm not just going to bring back the story, but there was something I saw. It broke my heart, and I said, I'm not the only one to see this, but I will let you see it. Before then, remember, I have told you here that back in the days, back in the days, whites generally ate black people so that they can have the essence of black people. It's not Abigail's word. See, when I bring information here, it is something that is important and is legit. So I'm not just gonna give you information that is not true. So we do facts here. So it's something you can check. Go and check it. White people ate black people. There is even a book, a recipe for eating black people. Apart from the delectable Negroes, there is a book that has recipes, how to cook black people and how to eat them, that it will be very sweet. Yes, there is a book for that. Okay? Now, to now know that this, I don't know what to call them, this entity of human beings were even introducing the act of sacrificing human being even to their children, like while they are still 5-6 years old. This was the recent exposure. It's part of the recent exposure from Epstein, where children were testifying that their fathers would hold their hand and slice the throats of the babies.
Time when we ever done it with Papa, the first time when we little done it, we had feared so much.
When you did what?
When you killed the baby, first time. And
you killed the
Papa.
babies?
Yes.
You yourself?
With Papa. Papa holding my hand, he helped me. But he told me to cut the baby's head off. But he forced me to. I couldn't.
He held your hand?
He held my hand, yes.
Like what? Show me.
So this is my hand in a knot. He put his big hand on, and he pushed my hand and then cut off the head.
The Hampstead kids. You know what happened after that video? They tried to say that was a hoax. The Hampstead hoax was a series of false allegations starting in 2014 that a Satan-worshipping pedophile ring of about 175 parents, teachers, and religious leaders had been abusing children in the Hampstead area of North London. Police found no evidence of pedophilia or abuse, nor of murder or Satanism, but the alleged abusers were subjected to harassment, death threats, and online abuse that continued until at least 2022. It later emerged that the two children who had made the initial allegations had been threatened by adults into making them. You telling me kids were threatened to make those Lord have mercy. You telling me kids were threatened to go into that type of detail? For the most part, you could tell when a child is lying. Now, what could have happened was when this was seen by whoever their leaders were, they could be threatened to retract their statement for sure. How could you say that? How could you do and put these kids in ultimate fear? That seems like common sense to me. That seems a lot more logical to me. And what seems to be clear to me is whoever wrote that on Wikipedia is a part of what was happening with the children. World's ran by Satanists. You got different people like Chrissy Teigen, I spoke about yesterday. She was talking about little girls. Going on different shows, feeling comfortable talking about eating human beings.
If the person okayed it, I would eat a human. If you were at a very fancy restaurant and they were like a tiny piece of human meat.
No. I think the only way
You wouldn't try a tiny bite?
No.
Really?
Absolutely not.
My Lord, this is Netflix. This woman is talking about eating humans. Eating humans, guys. Chrissy Teigen.
Our dad, he forces me and Gabriel to do it. But because we can't, we're not strong enough to cut the babysitter. He does us to hold a knife, and he puts his hand at the top of our hand, and he helps us to cut the baby's head off. Because he's learning, he's teaching me and Gabriel, so when we're older, to do it to our own children and do this kind of stuff to our own children.
Where is it this that happens?
The church, the kitchen in our church.
The kitchen in the church.
Yes, they got.
So,
Yes.
right, this string. Tell me about this string.
So it's just like, it's not just like just a thin normal string. It's a bit thick. It's like maybe that thick.
Okay.
And they tie around
Okay.
like in a circle.
Right.
Hang it up on
Where do they tie it to on the baby?
So it's like on legs. So they put the legs
Right.
together, tie it on,
Yeah.
and so it's like one string around and then one string attached,
Yeah.
and it's hanging upside down. They get the knife, but they don't just cut it off absolutely. It's still on.
Cannibalism is not illegal in the United States, with the exception of one state.
What?
The only state in the United States where cannibalism is illegal is the state of Idaho.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I am not leaving my house today.
So, cannibalism is punishable up to 14 years in prison in the state of Idaho.
What? So what happened in Idaho to make cannibalism illegal there? Anyway, I thought she was just talking nonsense, so I went to check the information myself. And guess what? It turned out she was technically right. Although harming or killing someone is illegal, if it wasn't you who harmed or killed the person and they were already dead before you ate them, then it isn't illegal in the US. For example, many undocumented immigrants or homeless people have no legal status and no relatives or friends, means no one cares.
My Majesties, a lot is going on. A lot have been going on. And, for a very long time now, we've been bringing you this information gradually. Bringing this to your notice and letting you know that the world is crazy. Like, it is crazy out there. And a lot is happening that is not normal. But they want to make you feel like it is normal and there is nothing wrong with what they are doing. But no, everything is wrong with what they are doing. Everything is wrong. For me, is seeing the people sitting down and having a discussion on why can't they eat humans, and the thought of, okay, a human being like you, even in the animal kingdom, animals of same species hardly eat themselves. But why is it so normal that people will sit in a podcast, make movies about this situation freely without even having, no, they don't even feel uneasy at all. They make these things very quickly, very swiftly, like without shame, without, they're just okay to talk about this situation out there publicly. That they eat of human flesh, and it has always been out there for you and me to see, because they keep saying it, eating of the flesh and drinking of the blood. And the way they have twisted the whole thing, you want to feel like, and they want to make you believe that it is the blood of body and blood of Christ. In the first place, why should this Christ want us to eat his body and drink his blood? No, let's be frank. Let's be frank. Why should this Christ want us to eat his flesh and drink his blood in the first place? Why is this Christ turning us into cannibals? Why is this Christ wanting us to have this fancy for eating the flesh and drinking blood of humans? Even if it's the flesh or the blood of a creator, of a God, why should we want to eat the flesh and drink a blood in the first place? That idea already is not a good idea. That if you don't eat my flesh and drink my blood, you don't have life in you. Why are we not seeing that something is wrong with this statement? No, nothing is wrong with it, because it is written in the Bible. It has been passed down through religion. So there is nothing wrong with it. And that is why they want us to believe that nothing is wrong with them actually talking about eating flesh and drinking blood. The Majesties. Because they have proven time and time again, and they call it the miracle of the Eucharist, where they tell you that the Eucharist actually turned to a flesh. Okay? And they they went to the lab and discovered that it was truly a blood of a human being and the flesh of a human being. They have been telling you this thing for a long time, that they have been eating flesh and drinking blood. And then they made the whole world believe that it's a miracle of the Eucharist. You believe it, you accept it. Oh, it's the flesh and blood of a Yeshua. Why? It's a continuation of the one they had last night. They brought it to the altar to continue their sacrifice. Majesties, it's high time we wake up to this reality. There is communion, which is normal. Communion, you have communion with fellow brothers and sisters in the community. You share what you have, you eat what you have. In the spirit of togetherness, is understandable, it's normal. But the moment you are now saying that it is blood that you are drinking and it is flesh that you are eating, let's be careful not to begin to partake in these rituals indirectly that these people have initiated all of us into. We have all been initiated, whether you like it or not. We have all been initiated. As far as you were once a Christian, or you were once part of this organized Abrahamic religion, you were already initiated. We are all initiated without a permission. And that is why you see, we are trying to pull out of this whole thing, and it's difficult. Because it has to do with we giving consent without we knowing. So they needed our consent, they asked for this, and we gave them consent without knowing exactly what they wanted to use our consciousness for. A lot is going on that we have to be careful about. The world is not what we think it is, and that is why there are questions here and there rising in the minds of a lot of persons at this time, especially with the ongoing war that seems not to be ending. According to the President of the United States, he was thinking that this whole thing would, maybe according to the analysis, right, that this whole thing might just end within 4 days, and it's more than a week right now that this is going on, and this might continue throughout this week and even next week, if care is not taken and if nothing is done for peaceful negotiation. What do you think about this? I'll see you in my next one. Leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section. Alright, until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive always, Your Majesties. Bye.